What if I told you that before satellites, before radar, before digital sensors scanning the skies, entire nations trusted their survival to giant concrete ears? Massive, silent, curved monoliths, hidden along lonely coastlines, waiting, listening, and almost nobody talks about them, the final siren. These are acoustic mirrors, and for a brief, high-stakes moment in history, they were humanity's best defense against invasion. Before the invention of radar, before the breakthroughs of pioneers like Robert Watson-Watt, countries faced a terrifying question. How do you detect enemy aircraft when you can't see them, and you can't hear them until it's too late? The answer: you bend sound itself. Along the southern coast of the United Kingdom, engineers built enormous curved concrete structures, some 200 feet wide, designed to capture and concentrate distant engine noise. They worked like parabolic lenses, but instead of focusing light, they focused sound. Miles out at sea, the faint rumble of approaching aircraft would strike these mirrors, bounce inward, and converge at a single listening point. An operator, sometimes literally with a stethoscope, would stand at the focal spot straining to hear the future. Imagine that pressure. One person, one position, one decision. If they heard something, they could raise the alarm minutes earlier than anyone else. And in warfare, minutes mean survival. This wasn't science fiction, this was real. This was cutting-edge defense technology in the early 20th century. And then, it vanished. Radar emerged, electronics took over, and these massive concrete listeners were abandoned, left to weather and time like relics from an alternate timeline. But here's the mystery that hooked us. What if they still work? What if simple geometry, no circuits, no algorithms, no AI, can still compete with modern sensors? And what if the forgotten technology wasn't obsolete, just overlooked? Today, we're resurrecting it. We're going to rebuild the science behind acoustic mirrors. We're going to test the geometry. We're going to measure the physics. And, honestly, we're going to find out whether these silent giants were actually brilliant or just desperate. Because here's what makes this high stakes. If pure shape can amplify weak signals across miles, that changes how we think about detection, about surveillance, about energy efficiency, and, about low-tech solutions in high-tech worlds. So, could disaster zones use passive acoustic mirrors when electronics fail? Could remote regions detect threats without power grids? Could simple curves, actually outperform complex code? Or are we just about to rediscover why radar replaced them in the first place? There's only one way to find out. We're diving into the math. We're building scaled models. We're testing real sound sources over distance, and we're comparing them directly to modern sensor systems. No nostalgia, no assumptions, just geometry versus technology. And trust me, the results surprised us. But before we bring these concrete giants back to life, I need to ask you something. Do you love uncovering forgotten breakthroughs? Do you want to see lost science tested, not romanticized, but stress-tested? Because this channel is about high-stakes transformation, taking ideas buried by time and putting them back on trial. If that excites you, take 2 seconds right now, subscribe to the channel, follow for more deep dives like this, and hit that notification button so you don't miss what happens next, because the next few minutes might completely change how you think about advanced technology. We've been trained to believe progress is always electronic, always digital, always newer equals better. But what if progress sometimes looks like a 20-foot concrete dish in a windy field? What if the future of resilient systems depends on lessons from the past? In this video, we're not just exploring an artifact, we're testing a hypothesis. That under the right conditions, pure physics, pure geometry, can still compete. So, stay with me, because we're about to stand at the focal point of a giant concrete ear, send sound across an open distance, and find out whether a century-old forgotten technology can still hear what modern systems might miss. Let's resurrect the science.